So, we have discussed the up to isomerism. Under isomerism, we have discussed structural isomerism and stereoisomerism. Under that, geometrical and optical isomerisms, different types you have discussed. Next, we see importance of some ligands and complexes. Importance of some ligands and complexes in our daily life you take, or in practical chemistry and in biological chemistry. Importance of some ligands and complex compounds. Importance of some ligands and complex compounds. Take the first one, let me say DMG ligand. DMG is generally used in the detection and estimation of nickel. It is used in the detection and estimation of nickel plus 2 ion in practical chemistry. DMG ligand is used in the detection and estimation of nickel plus 2 ion. Generally, nickel salt is converted into a nickel DMG complex. Nickel DMG complex. Many times questions appear on this. What is the hybridization of this particular complex? What is the geometry of this particular complex? What is the color of this particular complex? That you have to remember. It's very, very important. The DMG ligand and the complex. It is actually a square planar with the DsP2 hybridization. It is rose red or scarlet red in color. Rose red or scarlet red in color. So, this is the importance of DMG and the complex nickel DMG complex. Coming to the second one. Consider EDTA. It's a very important ligand. For many purposes, we use this particular DMG, this after DMG next EDTA ligand. Standard EDTA solutions, standard. See, standard EDTA solutions generally used in the volumetric estimation of calcium plus 2 and Mg plus 2. Volumetric estimation of calcium plus 2. Volumetric estimation. Volumetric estimation of calcium plus 2 and magnesium plus 2. Or you can also say estimation of hardness of water. Standard EDTA solutions are generally used the volumetric estimation of calcium plus 2, Mg plus 2, and also in the estimation of hardness of water. So, standard EDTA solutions are titrated against either calcium plus 2, Mg plus 2 solutions or hard water. You can estimate what amount of calcium plus 2, magnesium plus 2 ions are there in the hard water. And this particular EDTA is also used. EDTA used in the removal of hardness. Removal of hardness. They also used in the removal of hardness of water. So, standard EDTA solutions are used in the volumetric estimation of calcium plus 2, Mg plus 2, and also estimation of hardness. In the removal of hardness of water also be used. Then EDTA you are adding to water the calcium plus 2, magnesium plus 2, forming this Mg and calcium EDTA complexes, and we can remove this particular complex from the water. Next, see, lead is a poisonous metal, a toxic metal. Anyhow, somewhat unknowingly or knowingly, suppose lead enters into our body, it shows its toxic effects in our body. For the removal of this particular toxic metal from the body, we use a complex. It is calcium disodium EDTA. This particular complex is used for the removal of toxic metal from the body. Unknowingly or knowingly, somewhat this particular lead, if enters into the body, it causes a lot of toxic effects or effects in our body. For the removal of, once we identify lead is there in our body, for the removal of this particular lead from the body, we use calcium disodium EDTA. Next, see, copper is required for our body, but in trace quantities only. If the copper amount in the body is becoming more, excess copper in the body again acts as what? Toxic. Excess copper in the body acts as what? A toxic element. Once we diagnose that this copper is there in our body more than the required amount, then for the removal of this particular copper from the body, we use penicillamine ligand. A ligand penicillamine we use. A ligand penicillamine is used for the removal of copper from the body because excess amount of copper in the body causes a disease known as Wilson's disease. Because Wilson's disease is toxic, therefore for the removal of this particular copper, then we use this particular penicillamine ligand. Next, in the electroplating, the electroplating of silver, electroplating of aramute, electroplating of aram, electroplating of copper. For the electroplating of silver and aram and copper, we use this particular complexes. Now, Na, Ag, Cn twice. This particular complex is used for the electroplating of silver. Similarly, in the electroplating of aram also, we use this particular complex Na, Au, Cn taken twice. For the electroplating of copper, then we use this particular complex. Remember, K3, Cu, Cn taken 4 times. This is what copper 1 complex. These particular complexes are used for the electroplating of this respective metals, silver, gold, and again copper. Next, some more are there. We will discuss in hydrometallurgy. For the extraction of silver and gold, the complex used is Na, Ag, Cn taken twice. This particular complex is used for the extraction of silver. Extraction of silver in hydrometallurgy. Similarly, the extraction of gold also, same complex is used, but Rm complex. Same for the extraction of gold in hydrometallurgy. In hydrometallurgy, for the extraction of silver and gold, these are the complexes we use. See, nickel tetracarbonyl, you might be knowing this, one of the famous complex, nickel tetracarbonyl, used in Mond's process. Mond's process for the extraction of nickel. For the extraction of nickel, this particular complex is used by Mond's process. Say cobalt complex, dicobalt octocarbonyl. Dicobalt octocarbonyl acts as a catalyst. In hydroformylation or in oxo process. This particular complex dicobalt octocarbonyl is used as the catalyst in hydroformylation or oxo process for the preparation of long chain alcohols. For the preparation of long chain alcohols. Long chain alcohols. So this is very important. Cisplatin we call. Cisplatin. Cisplatin is used as what a cancer drug for the curing of cancer. This particular complex we use. What is this particular complex? Cisplatin. Dichlorodimines. Cis that to be. Cis-diamine dichloro. Cis-diamine dichloro platinum 2 complex. Only cis complex. Used in curing of cancer. It's very, very important to remember. Curing of cancer. You know well, this particular iron plus 2 complex, what you call as a hemoglobinutic. Iron plus 2 complex, hemoglobin. Hemoglobin, which involves in the transport of oxygen in our body. Hemoglobin, there in red blood cells. Involves in transport of oxygen. Transport of O2 in our body. Fe plus 2 complex, hemoglobin, there in red blood cells, involves in what transport of oxygen. Love you take next one. A cobalt plus 3 complex, what you call cyanocobalamin. Cyanocobalamin, or you say vitamin B12. Vitamin B12. Cobalt plus 3 there in cyanocobalamin or vitamin B12. This is the cobalt complex, vitamin B12 or cyanocobalamin. It's in many ways useful for human life and other living beings. Vitamin B12. These are some important complexes and some ligands which are important either practical chemistry or biochemical industries and in the form of complexes or ligands.